Action!
Bada bing, bada boom.
Welcome to the second edition of our podcast, the Strawberry Kit Kat Podcast.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna start with a simple Q&A.
Yeah, we're gonna ask each other questions and we're gonna answer them.
Yeah, and I'm gonna start asking her a question first.
Okay.
So the first one is, how many different places have you lived during your life?
I haven't moved a lot actually. Unlike some other people, I was born in Jakarta, so I lived there first. And then
For how many years?
For I think for like 1 or 2 years, and then I moved to Bekasi, and then I went to school there until high school basically. So a large chunk of my life, and then after that for university I lived here in an apartment because I go to university in Tangerang with Ammara.
Hi.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask her a question now.
Uh-huh.
So, how do you normally spend your holidays?
I normally spend my holidays with my family.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a big family, so once in a year, like, we gotta meet up somewhere, like either in Solo, Bali, or in Jakarta.
Fun.
Yeah.
What do you usually do?
We usually ate a lot, a lot of food, and gossip. My family likes to gossip a lot, and there's a lot of drama in there.
I've heard some of them. They're
Yeah.
juicy.
I don't like being in the middle of the drama, but I got dragged into it, so
That's the juices of life, you know.
yeah.
Okay. Now I'm gonna ask her the next question. When was the last time you attended a live sports event in your city?
I never been in one in my city, but here in Tangerang, I've been in with you.
Oh.
Back in the second semester actually, and it's called Women Volleyball Championship.
Yeah, I remember. It was a volleyball match.
It is. And what did we do? We become like the decor team.
Yeah, the committee. We were in the committee for that event.
And it's really fun. Like, we played volleyball too.
Yeah. And my hand got blue.
I know, it's blue.
Yeah, it was blue.
It got blue. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you the question next.
Okay.
Are there any trends that have a negative impact on people's life?
I think there are a ton. Have you ever heard of the trend where people, I don't know if in Indonesia people do this, but I think I've seen where people shoot a video of themselves eating Tide Pods. Do you know what Tide Pods are?
Wait, I've heard of it.
So Tide Pods basically are like things that you use to wash your clothes. It's kind of like a capsule, and you can insert it in your washing machine, and then they eat that stuff. I mean, talk about negatively impacting your life, and that harms your body, that harms your stomach, your intestines. But yeah, I think there are a lot of really dumb trends like those, right?
Like, do you know the one where the parents like smack an egg?
What's that about? There are a lot of harmful pranks and trend stuff like that impacts people's lives in a negative way. Yeah.
That's about it from our Q&A.
Sorry. Okay, now we're gonna be starting our second section where we describe a random picture, and she's gonna start with this picture.
Okay, so I'm gonna speedrun this one. I'm gonna choose branding. Okay, there are elements that are very important when you're making a professional branding.
Yeah.
Okay, there are identity, marketing, and strategies. Okay, I'm gonna talk about identity. Okay, there are colors, logo, and name. Okay, the name of your brand is very important because people is gonna remember your brand from that, and the colors too. People are gonna recognize your brand through that color, like this. You recognize this logo because of the color black.
Batman.
Black and yellow, and also the logo. Like, people will recognize this everywhere. Okay, everywhere you go, you're just gonna shout Batman. Yeah, and that's about it. Yeah, if you just use those elements to make your brand, it's gonna be popular in no time.
Yeah. Okay. So next, oops, sorry about that. I'm gonna be describing this picture right over here. Okay, so this is basically two magazines where they put
T.
Angelina Jolie and Jennifer Aniston, which are the ex-wife and wife of the actor Brad Pitt, where they pit them against each other using sentences like Angelina and Jen are waging their own spiteful and like cruel lies. A lot of companies will do anything to market their products and to make them sell out, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, these two magazines, they will put stuff like this, drama or tea stuff, to make people get attracted to buy them. So, but I think this is a very harmful marketing strategy because they pit people against each other, and stuff like those happen a lot in advertising. Yeah, and we need healthier ways to market your products. That is it.
Okay, so the tip part.
Yeah, we're gonna be having a discussion about a topic. And the first thing that we're going to be talking about is the main components of a brand.
Just like the one that I've talked about, there are elements that you need to apply when you're making a brand. There are identity, which includes,
I mean, of course, the first thing that you need to make a brand is the name, right? Because if you don't have a name, what are people gonna call it?
The name is gonna represent the brand. And then there's the logo, which even if you don't know like what that brand sells or something, you're gonna recognize the logo.
Yeah, so if a name conveys the brand's verbal identity, the logo will convey its visual identity, right?
Yeah. And then next we have color, which is also very important in a brand. Like Indomaret.
Yeah.
There are 3 colors. There's red, blue, and yellow.
Yeah, wherever you go, you're gonna recognize it. It's very important. And also, to build a brand, you of course need to consider its marketing, right? How you're gonna promote the brand, how you're gonna advertise it
to the public.
Yeah. Maybe you're gonna use social media or use a more physical approach, like using billboards or posters, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the second topic we're gonna be discussing about is professional branding.
Yeah. So the first part is the target market analysis. Apparently that's important.
Of course it is.
So you need to understand your target audience when you're making a brand, and it includes like demographic, preference, behaviors, and basically everything that resonates around the target customer.
Yeah, and I think other than that, after you've already analyzed your audience, your target audience, you need to plan a way to advertise your products to that audience, right? So there are many methods you can use to advertise your product, maybe through a campaign,
social media.
Yeah, through social media. Like we have explained before, there are also physical ways to advertise your products, but the important thing is that they have to suit your target audience preferences, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then choosing a brand name, it also involves considering not only it's like if it's gonna be memorable for people, because if it's hard to remember, people are not really gonna remember your brand.
Yeah, like we have explained before in the previous topic, other than naming, the visual identity of the brand is also very important. Not only the logo, but also like maybe the photographs that you use to promote your brand, the typography. Yeah.
What else? Brand strategy.
Yeah, there is also a brand strategy. You need to set your brand value,
the purpose of your brand.
Yeah. and also how you position your brand in the marketplace so that your brand stands out.
Yeah. And basically the last part is analysis of marketing efficiency.
Okay, yeah. So after you've already, so your first step was setting your target audience, and then after that you
Naming.
you make methods to market your products, and then of course at the final part you have to make sure that your marketing strategies are efficient, right, to reach your audience.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to analyze them, you have to test them out to see if they actually do reach people.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
I have enough of branding.
Me too. We learned so much about it in our degree.
Let's go.
Oh my. Okay. Now, for the final part of this second edition of our podcast, we're gonna be talking about another topic.
Yes.
And the topic is,
what do you think about internet access being restricted in some countries of the world?
I think, I don't know whether to agree or disagree with the restriction itself, because I think it has its own good and its own bad. So when you look at countries like North Korea, where they have absolutely no internet access whatsoever, I think the good is you can prevent bad things that can come out of the internet, such as internet addiction, or like you can prevent yourself from getting access to many hoaxes that get spread around on the internet. But also the bad side is, nothing that's going on in the world, and people have the right to know stuff that's going on, such as about COVID maybe, or about
Palestine.
War that's going on in Palestine. That's the bad side of it. What do you think of this topic?
I think it's like the same thing. Like China is also, I think they are restricted to some internet access.
Yeah, to certain,
because the government is kind of, I don't know what's happening there, but the government is kind of
they have
they're not bad,
their own rules and regulations.
Like even TikTok, they have their own TikTok. What is it called? Weibo, something like that.
Douyin? I don't know. They have their own applications.
And like there's this one website where people can like publish their own like art, like their story and stuff like that, where people can freely express themselves. But it's being restricted in China.
Yeah, so what do you think is like the good of that?
The good of that, I think, for some people that are minors, I think, like, they're not gonna be able to open freely the access of everything that is like 18 plus. It is not for minors.
Yeah, because there can be explicit stuff in those websites.
Yeah,
right?
There's a lot.
How about the bad side of that?
The bad side is, I don't know, people can't really like express themselves again. Like they can't publish story and like share their story with people. Yeah, and they can't really like find their own people again. Like they're in fandoms, right? There's a lot of fandoms.
Yeah, I agree.
In the Delulu world.
I agree.
Yeah, and like with that website being restricted, like they don't have like
entertainment?
A place to like to meet up with their own people or something.
Oh yeah, to find people who have similar interests. Yeah, I agree. And also I think going back to the thing that I was talking about, in Palestine also the internet is restricted, right, by Israel. And it's very harmful because they can't show the world what's going on in their country.
They can't ask help to stuff like that.
Yeah, in some cases it's really, really harmful. In that case, they need the internet to be able to tell the world that, hey, this is going on in our country.
Or like Israel use internet like not in a positive way. Like they post a lot of AI photos. Do you know that?
Yeah, for their propaganda.
Yeah,
right?
to promote themselves. Like they're saying like they're the good guys or something like that, which is not a good thing.
Yeah, that's also a bad thing that they have access to the internet.
Yeah. Internet can be a really bad place for people, I guess.
Yeah, so I feel like
I don't know.
in
Maybe-
some places internet needs to be restricted,
Yeah.
but also in other places they really need
if
it.
you use it correctly, then yeah.
Yeah, then it is a good thing, but if you use it in a bad way, then restriction is good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that is it for our opinions. And that is it for this edition of our podcast. Thank you for watching.
See you guys on the third one.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Can you blow my whistle, baby, let me know. Girl, I'm gonna show you how to do